October 24th, 2025. Guys, we're about to see some major changes here in the U.S., and it may be an event that gets totally out of control. And I'll tell you why. The main reason is because of human nature. But guys, as of 2024, we were spending $99.8 billion a year on SNAP, with about $93.8 billion going directly to monthly benefits. The rest went to administration costs, employment training, nutrition, education, all of that, they're saying. Of course, there's a lot of grifting by the people that are really fussing from the program. But what's happening is, because the Democrats and the Republicans have not come eye to eye on extending the spending bill, or even just the continued resolution, the CR, on keeping the benefits and all there until they come up with a final agreement. The Democrats won't do that without $1.5 billion going to illegal immigrant insurance. Really, it's all about votes. But right now, it's really going to turn, I've mentioned this, guys, civil war, but there's a step above that. And that's what we're about to see, believe it or not. Anyway, within just over a week, if they haven't come up with something in the Senate, SNAP will be over with until some other agreement comes along. And so you got 42 million people on SNAP right now. Again, as of 2022, Biden's second year in office, there was 1.5 million people from across the border illegally on SNAP that they were reporting. Now, you had 2 more years of the same situation happening before Trump came back in. So there's a good deal of the 99.8 billion as of 2024. Again, I'm sure you might as well say 100 billion. Think about that monthly. Anyway, they scratched up enough money to pay for October. They don't have it for November. So you can imagine anything, a zombie apocalypse. You can imagine the Hunger Games. You can imagine some of the movies like where you see great destruction and overrun and takeover and complete anarchy. All of that happening all at one time. Because when you get 43 billion people hungry within a 3-day, if it's cut off, and it looks like it will be if the Democrats, they're sacrificing their voters for their illegal voters, if you understand what I'm saying. And it's they want to bring about some type of civil war. So on one hand, the Democrats, they want to get their 1.5 billion in illegal insurance or Medicare, whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, can they use this situation to create civil disturbance by not agreeing with it? Now, on the Republican side, Trump has been complaining, and some of his advisors, that we're spending way too much on SNAP, that needs to be whittled down. And there's a lot of people that still work and that barely make it that aren't claiming SNAP. But that may not go on forever. We'll see. But on that hand of it, there's 2 things. One, by holding out, it allows them to trim a lot of waste and fat. And I'm not talking about the people that really need it. That's not what I'm talking about. But when you see anything the Democrats have to do with, you got to look at 60-70% of it being grifted and bought off and things like that. But what's the other ploy here for the Republican side? It's kind of like the $1,000 bus fare. You take it, you go out. It gives you a legal chance to try to apply for reentry. If you don't, and you have to be thrown out, you don't get that choice. So with this situation, and you've got probably 2 or 3 million, maybe more, maybe way more, illegals, immigrants that are on SNAP. And so they're kind of having to hide out. Some of them are afraid to go to their jobs and all. But as long as you got that SNAP, you'll make it. But if that's cut off, what incentive do they have to stay? Now, I'm not trying to be cruel. Just bear with me here on the conversation. Now, it's not a lot per person or per participant, but they're saying average of 188. But sometimes, guys, I've seen the videos. where these ladies have 5 or 6 kids, no job, and are getting $4,000 or $5,000 a month in SNAP and things like that. Now imagine again 43 million people with maybe 70% of them 300 or 400 pounds fighting it out in the food aisles of Walmart, Kroger, Target, local grocery stores, in restaurants. It will become like a zombie apocalypse or like a purge. That's another movie that kind of comes to mind here. But guys, it's always been said that you can go about 3 days without food if you have water, about 3 weeks if you don't have water. But that's if you have a little bit of self-control and are in shape. Most people can't go very long at all without their Big Mac attack. You know what I mean? You sugar rush, all of this, the junk food junk. Well, imagine all of that happening, and you got 40 million plus people hungry at the same time. Now, the big cities where a lot of this happens, in some of the states, you've got nearly 1 million people just in Pennsylvania alone, almost 800,000, I think, on SNAP. Those are going to be the hardest hit areas of this upcoming zombie apocalypse, Hunger Games. Now, what's going to happen, guys? You've got to realize this. Put yourself in the shoes of who's going to be without. And it could be a lot of us, who knows. But anyway, best friends will turn on each other. You ain't got to worry about enemies. Best friends will turn on each other to get food for their children. How many movies have you seen that portrayed in, or books, or actual situations? They'll kill you, rob you, hang you to get a meal. How many of you guys that live in these big cities are prepared for that? Now, it's going to be rough everywhere in the nation. Some are better prepared, some aren't. Some people in the country usually have enough provisions as far as food put up and things like that, to make it through. But you're still going to have, if you're what they say about gangs coming out of cities, all it takes is enough gas to get out of the city, say an hour out of town, and back. And that's what they want. Stolen car, probably, whatever, but usually a tank of gas, and they can come into any area. And now, this is not about stealing gold or watches or bling or money or drugs. This is about human survival. So you've got to put that, when you start weighing the scales of what's about to happen, that outweighs everything else. Money, everything else, because you're not going to have the money. A lot of them probably don't want to admit it, and they'll be down there getting some food, but a good portion won't. So what we're about to see is complete chaos. It could cause a total uprising, like Releasing the Nihilist. If you've ever read some of that information in those letters by Albert Pike, and they unleash the nihilists. Chaos happens, and then you get your order out of chaos. Guys, and that goes back to the Democratic side of this thing, again, creating chaos in other words, burn the house down before you give it up, and our attempt to completely overthrow it. They're becoming very bold in their statements. Don't know how long that will last, because people in the DOJ and FBI and all, they're not very happy with some of these governors and all talking about what they're going to do in docks and attack the ICE agents, Border Patrol. They're not real happy with that at all. But guys, let's read this. Some 42 million Americans who rely on federal food benefits have become the latest political flashpoint of the government shutdown as November approaches and funding's run out for the nationwide program. Yeah, it's approaching very quickly. People in the U.S. who rely on SNAPs, more commonly called food stamps, in the past will be those impacted. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, we call the USDA, warned in a memo to state agency directors. It doesn't take a big memo, it takes common sense to understand human nature. Now, guys, if you've ever taken heed of information that's a week or so away, this is the one you want to take heed of in every way, whether it's protecting you and yours or preparing for the stores having to close. And listen to me, I'm old, I'm wise. I drink coffee, some people say. Anyway, the stores will be forced to close like you see in New York and San Francisco and LA, Chicago, because they're being overrun. Walmarts and everything closed because the glasses are shattered out. Think about this now, and local police departments unable to have the manpower to protect all of these assets. And you can't put National Guard troops in every city and town. This is not going to be where you can call the government for help. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope you do, because this may be one of the most important videos to get you to prepare than any other that you've ever seen. I know the information is making me look in every direction, guys. Now, again, from the USDA, it's stated in our lapse of appropriation correspondence dating October 1st, 2025, SNAP has funding available for benefits and operations through the month of October. Today's October 24th. However, if the current lapse in appropriations continues, there will be insufficient funds to pay full November SNAP benefits for approximately 42 million individuals across the nation. Instant hunger, 3 days chaos, and maybe less than that when you have one of them Big Mac attacks. Well, the only thing I can see positive about it is you can quit taking those shots to lose weight that are killing people. Well, it's just going to happen naturally. But guys, I'm not trying to be funny, but that will happen, but it won't be voluntary. And so, are you ready? I want you to sit down tonight or this evening, and if you're by yourself, think about it. If you got family or you need to talk to family, share the video. Of course, will never put a copyright on anybody on any of my information. Well, share it and make sure, take the time with them. Because most of the people I know, it goes in one ear and out the other. Right? And unlike the hurricane warning information that we give, you have a choice of moving to another state. And I guess in this situation, you do have the choice of getting out of a crap hole of a city anyway, where it's already dangerous to go out, right? Imagine, guys, what's about to happen. Or you take a vacation for a month, rent you a camper, get your old camper out, dust the dust off of it, and get out in the country somewhere, do something. But if you're trapped, this is like the ultimate movies, again, going back to movies, get out of LA, escape from New York, escape from LA. Remember those? Do you think that is not going to happen? Do you think the people that you see blocking roads and burning down businesses, you think that's something? And they're getting paid to do that here. The pay's running out, and you're not on SNAP. And the grocery stores, listen to me, are going to be closed because of chaos. After about 2 days of the glass getting busted out, people in the store getting robbed, the parking lot's going nuts, it's over. Now, what are we, today again, the 24th. We don't have much time, so right now you can either not worry about it or prepare for it. You understand what I'm saying? I hope you do, because this is coming. Again, the title, I know it's Halloween. Tina said, well, this will be a good Halloween title video, and I guess it will be. But it's very serious, if not the most serious video I've ever done. We're watching it, guys. You watch it. Major heads up. Be safe.